Rome was in great danger. The city, once a beacon of civilization and power, now faced an unprecedented threat. The Etruscan king, Tarquin the Proud, wanted his throne back and was set on reclaiming what he believed was rightfully his. He had ruled Rome with an iron fist, imposing his will upon the people without mercy. His reign was marked by tyranny and oppression, and the people had finally had enough. In the year 509 BC, they threw him out and vowed to never be ruled by a king again. This act of defiance was a bold statement of their desire for freedom, but this made Tarquin furious. He vowed revenge, swearing that he would return and make them pay for their insolence. He gathered a massive army and marched on Rome. His forces were vast and formidable, a testament to his relentless ambition. The ground trembled under the weight of his advancing troops, and the air was thick with the anticipation of battle. The people of Rome were terrified. They knew that Tarquin would show no mercy if he captured the city. His vengeance would be swift and brutal, leaving no room for forgiveness. The thought of his wrath sent shivers down their spines. Their only hope was to hold him off until help could arrive. They banded together, preparing for a desperate defense. Every able-bodied citizen took up arms, ready to fight for their survival. They strategized and prayed for reinforcements, knowing that their fate hung in the balance. But how could they possibly stop such a powerful force? The odds were stacked against them, and the enemy seemed unstoppable. They were determined to defend their city, no matter the cost. This is the legendary story of how they accomplished this. The Tiber River was Rome's last line of defense. This ancient river, winding through the heart of the city, had witnessed countless events in Roman history. It was more than just a body of water. It was a symbol of Rome's resilience and strength. The river's banks had seen the rise and fall of empires, and now it was about to play a crucial role in the city's survival. A narrow wooden bridge spanned the river, offering the only easy passage for Tarquin's army. This bridge, though simple in its construction, held immense strategic importance. It was the gateway to the heart of Rome, and if it fell into enemy hands, the city would be vulnerable to attack. If the Romans could destroy the bridge, they might have a chance. The plan was simple yet perilous. Cut down the bridge to prevent the enemy from crossing. But this task was fraught with danger. The Etruscan forces were closing in, and time was running out. The Romans needed to act quickly and decisively to ensure their survival. But they needed someone brave enough to hold off the Etruscans while the bridge was being cut down. This was no ordinary task. The defender would have to face overwhelming odds, standing alone against a formidable enemy. It was a call to arms that few would dare to answer. A nobleman named Horatius stepped forward. Known for his valor and loyalty to Rome, Horatius was the embodiment of Roman virtue. With a resolute heart, he volunteered to take on the daunting task. "I will hold them off," he declared. His voice rang with conviction, echoing the resolve in his heart. "Give me 2 others to stand with me, and we will buy you time." Horatius knew that he could not hold the bridge alone. His call for volunteers was met with immediate response. Spurius and Titus came forward. These men were also seasoned warriors, known for their bravery and skill in battle. Together, the 3 soldiers formed a formidable trio, ready to face the enemy head-on. They knew the odds were stacked against them, but they were determined to fight for their city. With the fate of Rome resting on their shoulders, these brave soldiers prepared to make their stand, ready to defend their home at any cost. The 3 Romans took their positions on the bridge. They raised their shields and drew their swords, ready to face the enemy. The Etruscan army surged forward like a wave, eager to crush the tiny force that stood in their way. The ground trembled beneath their feet as they charged. The first Etruscan soldiers to reach the bridge were met with a wall of steel. Horatius and his companions fought with incredible bravery, their swords flashing in the sunlight. They cut down every Etruscan who dared to come within their reach. The bridge became a scene of chaos and carnage. The Etruscans were shocked by the fierce resistance they were encountering. They had expected the Romans to flee in terror, but Horatius and his companions stood their ground, their courage unwavering. The clang of swords and the cries of battle echoed across the Tiber. The Romans, on the other side of the bridge, worked frantically to cut down the supports. They knew that time was running out. The bridge swayed precariously as they hacked away at the thick wooden beams. The fate of Rome rested on their shoulders. Finally, with a deafening crack, the bridge gave way. The Etruscans on the bridge were thrown into the Tiber, their screams swallowed by the rushing water. Horatius, Spurius, and Titus found themselves on the edge of the collapsing bridge. They had held off the enemy, but now their own lives were in peril. Spurius and Titus jumped into the river and swam towards the Roman side, helped by their comrades who pulled them to safety. But Horatius was still on the bridge. He was too far out to jump. With the bridge crumbling beneath him, Horatius had no choice. He took a deep breath and leaped into the raging Tiber River. He was weighed down by his armor, and the current was strong. The water closed over his head. Everyone watched in terror. But Horatius was a strong swimmer. He fought against the current with all his might. Slowly, painfully, he made his way towards the shore. The Romans cheered as Horatius emerged from the river, exhausted but alive. He had risked his life to save his city, and his name would be forever etched in Roman legend. He was a true hero. Rome was safe, for now. Tarquin and his army were defeated. They retreated, realizing it would be impossible to conquer the Romans if they were willing to fight so fiercely for their city. They would have to find another way to defeat Rome. Horatius's bravery became a symbol of Roman courage and determination. His story is one of the most celebrated tales in Roman history, a testament to the valor and resilience that define the Roman spirit. He was given many honors, including a statue in the Forum. This statue was not just a tribute to his bravery, but a symbol of the values that every Roman aspired to. It stood tall in the heart of the city, reminding everyone of the sacrifices made by those who came before them. He was also given as much land as he could plow in a day. This reward was not just about the land itself, but about the recognition of his hard work and dedication. It was a gesture that showed how much the city valued his contributions. The people of Rome held him in the highest regard, seeing him as a living embodiment of their ideals. His story was told and retold, each time with a sense of pride and reverence. The admiration he received was a testament to the impact he had on the collective consciousness of Rome. And so, the story of Horatius, the defender of the bridge, was passed down through generations of Romans. It became a foundational myth, a story that parents would tell their children to instill values of bravery and loyalty. The tale of Horatius was more than just a story. It was a lesson in what it meant to be a true Roman. Thank you for watching. If you found this video beneficial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Trot Historia to continue learning from the annals of history.